Oh, okay, da ist etwas.
Let's split up here.
Okay.
I'm going to check on what's happening with the Spina. You know how it is. There's some things you just need to be there for yourself.
Okay.
You still have energy for that, Navia? Paimon's already beat.
Paul und Freunde, ich glaube, es wird nicht besser.
Just head back to the Fleuve Sandra and have a rest then. Thanks for keeping me company all this time.
Gern geschehen.
I'll depart as well. Thanks for your hard work today. Rest well, everyone.
Werden wir.
Traveler, I will go talk to Farina tomorrow morning to ask about the stone slates.
Okay.
I'm sure that you're concerned about this matter as well.
Yep.
If you have time, drop by my office. I will share the results of our discussion with you.
Okay, gut, bis morgen.
Are you really gonna talk to her about this directly? Will that be a problem? Paimon's getting a little scared now that it's come to this.
Ja, ein bisschen.
She has long been harboring secrets and will not give them up easily, which makes it all the more my duty to ensure that she understands the present situation.
Alright, we'll leave it in your hands then. You're probably the best person to talk to her anyway.
I will be carefully considering my words tonight.
Traveler, Paimon, our safe house at the Fleuve Sandra is always open to you as ever. So please don't think you're an imposition.
Okay.
Alright. I'll be on my way then.
Okay. So. Na, wir jetzt gegangen. Pa und du machst auf den Weg zum Stützpunkt das Spina der Resolution Fleuve. Das ist Händere. Ich kann das einfach nicht aussprechen. Heute noch? 10, ein bisschen lange. Okay. So.
We're finally back!
So.
Welcome back. We've got a special menu prepared for you two tonight.
Oh?
Yay! And there's good food too! Navi, no, the boss is the best.
Das verdient Paimon.
Ooh, desserts! Nice, these are all Paimon!
Egal was für eine Situation bzw. Krise am Laufen ist, Paimon ist immer Freude bei Essen, ey.
Paimon's already starting to forget what happened today.
Sehe ich grad richtig? Das ist Mona.
Oh, that voice. Is that who I think it is?
Mona? Also,
It's you two. What are you doing in Fontaine?
das gleich könnte ich dich fragen. Wo kommt die auf einmal her? Ja, Paimon und Jagd beginnt das gleich. Also, ich glaube, sie kommt ja aus Fontaine, glaube ich. Magistus?
Seriously, nobody just uses a scry glass whenever they've got time to just see who they'll meet on the road.
Still, we didn't expect to see you here. Wait, you're not a Fontanian, are you, Mona?
Well, I have some business to attend to here, so I booked a hotel in the city. I was just out for a stroll when I bumped into you. Quite unexpectedly, if I might add.
Ja.
Why did you think I was from Fontaine, though? Is that
Ja, doch
because
nicht.
Magistus doesn't sound much like a Mondstadt
Okay, doch nicht.
surname?
Okay, weil es war die Theorie ganz oft, glaube ich, dass Mona aus Fontaine kommt.
Yeah, let's go with that.
Okay, dann ist sie wenigstens vor der Flut sicher, oder deswegen
Well,
etwas.
I used to have my own surname, which was, well, some other thing. Either way, the old hag told me when she took me as her disciple that the first step to being a great astrologist's pupil was to change that name.
Okay.
There was nothing for it, really. She really is amazing at astrology, so I changed my name to what it is now according to her wishes. To my surprise, however, Magistus is not the name of some ancient house or clan.
Okay.
It isn't?
Nope. Although it is used by us in place of surnames, it generally just means great.
Das heißt, Magistus Mona will zum Beispiel großartige Mona eigentlich bedeuten dann.
Wow! Imagine including a boast in your name. Wait, are you gonna have to put that into your genealogy as well?
Wahrscheinlich schon.
I reckon so. In any case, I'd give my disciple a name like this as well, if I were to take one.
Darf ich fragen, wie deine Meisterin heißt?
Astromancer Barbeloth Trismegistus.
Dreifache großartige, wenn ich richtig verstehe.
Whoa, that's a long one. Does it also mean great or something?
Weil ich würde sagen, mit Tri vorne würde ich mal nehmen, dann dreifach großartige,
My
ne?
name means Mona the Great Astrologist.
Ah, okay.
As for the old hag, hers is, in plain speech, the thrice as great Scholar of the Stars. Just take it as a title specific to astrologists.
Okay.
Thrice as great? That's so petty.
I know, right? That's just how she is. She used to call herself Magistus, actually, but when she took me in, she changed her name to Trismegistus.
Okay.
Talk about excessive.
Magistus is thus the calling card of our school, so to speak, which
Okay.
makes it about the same as a surname. It's all right if you don't get it. You can look into it further should you need to study astrology more deeply.
Okay. Also, oder wie wäre es mit dreimal so gefräßige Paimon?
Terrible! But anyway, you're not Fontanian, are you, Mona? You're from Mondstadt, right?
Well, I was born in Mondstadt, yes. My parents migrated to Dornman Port, and I traveled with the old hag for a while, after which I settled down in Mondstadt City.
Das heißt, du bist doch... Warte.
Oh, that's a good thing.
Nein, auch
then.
nicht.
At least we know you won't be dissolved by Fontaine's waters.
Speaking of that, I'm sure you're aware that a bunch of things have happened
Oh,
here in
yeah.
Fontaine, right? I know you're not a local, but I'd avoid getting too close to any water that looks strange all the same.
Keine Sorge, wir haben es, glaube ich, schon genug
There's
bekommen.
something ominous about it. Well, the water, I mean.
Bist du wegen der Prophezeiung nach Fontaine gekommen, Mona?
That was the main reason, yes. Just a while back, the Steambird invited me to take part in a panel and speak about the circulation of the prophecy as an astrologist.
Okay.
The invitation was sent quite early on. I don't think anyone expected Fontaine to be in this much trouble.
Yep.
What do you make of that prophecy, Mona? Just tell us what you think as an astrologist. Your word would go a long way to make things more certain and less scary.
Ja.
What I can tell you is that I'm an astrologist, and that this prophecy concerns the fate of Fontaine, even that of Altivat.
Oh, supi.
Ascertaining this is akin to reading the fortune of the whole world.
Oh
I'm
Gott.
afraid that this is not something that just anyone can do. If I could do it, you would no longer call me an astrologist, but a visionary.
Oh, okay.
But on the flip side, the prophecy is so huge and powerful that it must surely come from a powerful visionary.
Das kann
Its
ganz gut
contents
sein.
involve the fate of the world. Disregarding it
Ich hoffe,
would be a
dass dieser
mistake.
Bohrwedel-Falschschlag.
A visionary? Sounds really powerful and all, but does such a person really exist?
Wahrscheinlich schon. Oder hat man auch mal eine Zeit gelebt.
Of course. The old hag could do it. And
Oh.
I'd bet there are others amongst those Hexenzirkel colleagues of hers who could do
Oh.
something similar.
Stimmt. Ich muss die Validität dieser Prophezeiung überprüfen.
Are you sure? All right, I'll help you. It isn't often that I see you with such a serious look on your face. I'll tell you once I hear back from her.
Okay.
Thanks, Mona. You're amazing as always.
Oh, well, this is something only I can do after all. So yes, your praises are quite welcome.
That's the greatest of astrologists for you. Of all the people we know, you know the stars the best.
Trismegistus.
Indeed. That's the spirit.
Oh, sorry. I came to see what all the commotion was about. If there's anything you need, do not hesitate to inform the Spina di Rosula.
Yep.
Oh, whoops. Guess we were getting a little too carried away there. Well, I'll go tend to my own business
Okay.
now. If I receive any news, I'll be sure to come find you two again.
Okay.
And there she goes, quick as rushing water. And here we are with the Spina guy giving us suspicious looks.
Naja, das haben wir uns selbst eingebrockt.
Right, but we were able to recruit Mona's help, didn't we? Our Fontanian friends will thank us someday.
Yep. Nach einem Gespräch beschließt ihr euch ordentlich auszuschlafen, neue Energie zu tanken. Okay.
Good morning. To be honest, Paimon's still feeling kind of sleepy. But it's time to get up, traveler. We agreed to go see Neuvillette, so let's pack it up and get going.
Ja, machen wir. So, dann geht's zu Neuvillettes Büro. Yay! So, also, was war den Weg geskippt? So, hier sind wir. Bin gespannt. Aber etwas wärmer angezogen. Ja.
Is something wrong?
Monsieur Neuvillette and Lady Farina, they seem to have gotten into a dispute. Please go see for yourself.
Oh oh. Das klingt gar nicht gut. Okay.
Like I said, I've already explained everything.
And yet the problem has not been properly solved. There is little space for excuses between us. It is not my intention to offend you, but please tell me where you stand. You are the Hydro Archon Focalor, are you not? Look at this. This is a list of the victims from the recent Poisson incident.
You mean they're all...
Yep.
We did not arrive in time to avert this disaster, and I will not have it happen again. I will say this once more. You must tell me everything you know. Yesterday, I found 3 stone slates in some ancient ruins near Poisson. Do you know anything about those?
Seriously? You're questioning me like this is a court case now. I don't know anything about that.
Oh, das wird immer hitziger.
But you found them in some ancient ruins, you say?
Okay, die alte Ruine scheint ihr bekannt zu sein.
That's correct, which is why I came to ask you some questions. There should have been 4 slates, but one of them was missing. The other 3 featured different images that seemed to correlate to the prophecy.
Yep.
The prophecy?
Yep.
The second of these slates depicts the previous Hydro Archon Egeria kneeling before
Egeria,
a floating
voilà.
island in the sky, as if confessing something. Do you know nothing of this either?
I don't. I've never seen such slates.
I'll ask you again. Do you really have no information regarding the previous Archon?
Also sie wurde wahrscheinlich nach dem letzten geboren, so wie es bei Naida wahrscheinlich war.
My deciphering of the slates indicates that the Hydro Archon Egeria once had to confess to, or apologize for, a certain sin. If anyone would know about it, it should be you.
All gods don't have the same secrets, you know. She was herself and I'm me. Is it really so strange that I know nothing? I understand your concerns, but I'm sorry. I just don't have anything to tell you.
Huh. Das ist natürlich super schlecht gerade.
Forgive me for saying this now, Lady Farina, but I have long known of your various secret investigations into certain matters.
Okay.
There are several indications that you have been investigating the prophecy on the sly. This is not strange in itself, considering that you are the Hydro Archon. But it is strange that you should also claim to not know any of Egeria's secrets, as well as do nothing following your inquiries. You have never been as superficial as you have presented yourself to be, nor are you a fool. And yet, your behavior is very inconsistent.
Oh, okay.
So you've been watching me all this time, have you? I didn't think you were that type.
You...
Well, since you know about my secret investigations, then you should know I'm actually working to take care of it.
Könnte sie irgendwie vielleicht Egeria decken? Oder hat sie wirklich gar keine Ahnung? Es liegt irgendwie zwischen den zwei. Ich glaube kaum, dass sie... Ich glaube, sie hat nicht die Ahnung, was Egeria gemacht hat. So wie auch Dings, aber die nichts weiß.
There's no point questioning or suspecting me. You're the Eudix, but you're still my subordinate. You should be following my lead. Just trust in me, you're Archon, and do as I say. Never mind whether you can truly convince yourself to or not. It'll all turn out fine. That's all I have to say. We do not discuss this matter again.
Okay.
Oh, the opera's about to start. Toodles!
Huh, okay. Und weg ist sie.
Did Farina not notice us standing by the door? Wonder what's up with her. She was smiling. She didn't seem in the mood to care if we were listening in or
Nee.
not.
Schien absichtlich etwas zu verbergen.
I assume you've been outside for a while now?
Yep.
Oh, you noticed. Seems Farina didn't even realize we were here.
Ja.
She was in a great panic, though I cannot discern the reason. Our discussion reached impasses time and again, a state of affairs that we cannot allow to continue. Still, I do not understand. Dialogue is the basis for understanding, so why did she keep refusing to engage?
Keine Ahnung. Möglicherweise reißt nicht aus, sie nur zu befragen. Wir müssen ihr den Ernst der Lage bewusst machen.
Everyone in her inner circle has noticed that she is hiding some secret. The issue is her attitude. I fear that she will not reveal anything unless absolutely forced to. We may have to create a situation in which she will have no choice but to speak.
Frage ist nur welche.
Oh? Like what?
Normally, people will only reveal the truth when standing trial. Perhaps we must have the Hydro Archon experience just such a scenario.
Oh, ja, okay.
But Farina's seen so many trials, and she's really good at dodging questions. How do we make sure that she won't just slip away at the first chance she gets?
Gute Frage.
We will need to consider this thoroughly, join forces with various parties, and then do what we can.
Okay.
If at all possible, I would prefer to recuse myself from this affair, but we must prevent the prophecy from coming to pass.
Ja.
This may be cruel to her, but all Fontaine is in crisis. The information a god possesses is too precious,
Yep.
and so we must take a chance on this.
In diesem Fall brauchen wir Unterstützung. Von ZOWIE, ich bin der
Who will
Resula.
lend us their aid to do such a thing?
Ich glaube, ich weiß, wen ich fragen kann. Alekino oder? Ein paar Tage später auf einem Boot irgendwo im stillen Poisson. Ich glaube, Navia und Alekino werden, beziehungsweise die ZOWIE dann eher. Ich glaube, die zwei werden die größten Parteien sein, die uns dabei helfen können.
Well, that's everyone, huh? Speaking of which, it was pretty smart of you to think of hiding here.
Okay.
Zoll was just involved in
in
a
it.
disaster, so it's presently devoid of people. That naturally makes it the best choice.
Aber wenn du hier bist, dann sind doch deine anderen zwei Geschwister hier.
And here you are drinking tea like it's the most natural thing in the world, huh?
That's what family should do. Sit and enjoy a leisurely time together.
It's nice to enjoy tea here, you know? Care for a cup?
Lend
Navia.
me your ears, everyone. Or perhaps one of you might like to start us off. How about you, friend?
Voilà.
Me? No, I don't think I can.
Then, how about you, good sir?
Keine will
I fear that I will cause the mood on this boat to become as somber as it is in court.
Well then, I guess we're lucky we've got a local like me to organize things. Wonderful, the spotlight at last. I guess I'll be facilitating things from here.
Okay. Oh,
That
Clara
was
ist
a
auch
little
da.
long-winded, don't you think?
Oh, you might be right. Anyway, to cut to the chase, our
Okay,
friend
scheint
here,
auch
the
so zu sein.
Traveler, has brought us together to discuss something.
Yep.
As for what that is, well, let's start by saying that we'll be pooling our efforts together to create a series of traps.
Okay.
Oh, how intriguing.
Well, it's just an expression, really. One that I just learned from Chlorand, and used on the spot. So, let's invite her to explain in detail.
Okay.
Huh? Didn't you say that you would be facilitating this?
Oh, come now. Your work doesn't involve much public speaking, right? This is a good chance to practice. You might even pick up some fancy oratory tricks to impress your boss with in the future.
I see. And what does my boss say?
He is glad that you consider him your boss. Do go on.
Okay, jetzt bin ich gespannt. Was für Fall werden wir denn
In
setzen?
that case, do any of you have experience hunting?
Not that I recall.
Fremine and I once used a wooden stick in a basket to catch wild rabbits when
Okay.
we were younger. As for Lynette, oh, right. You were sick that day, weren't you?
I've also gone diving to catch some fish before. Does that count?
I guess.
I'm afraid not. You may or may not have heard, but Fontaine once played host to a group known as the Marechaussee Hunters.
Okay.
Though that was their name, they did not hunt animals, but rather various monsters left behind by the ancient dynasty of King Remus.
Okay.
Today, Fontaine's monster population has already thinned greatly, so the hunters have blended back into society, taking up arms in other lines of work.
Okay.
They even left a unique methodology of hunting in their wake.
Okay.
A trap comprises of the following components: bait, a trigger, and a containment device.
Mhm.
Sometimes a lethal implement will also be necessary to deal with the prey.
Yep.
So, if we were to build a trap together, right now, what would you choose to build it with?
Na, halt dann.
For me, I would prefer something basket-shaped. Pigeons and rabbits will see the bait and naturally enter the snare. Our line of work requires a deft hand, and we're some of the best in the industry, so you can count on our techniques.
Okay.
You used some of those techniques while moving the people of Poisson, didn't you? My subordinates mentioned that you even performed some magic for the bawling children.
Oh.
Yes, and I even managed to gather some intelligence in the meantime. I'm quite the multitasker if I do say so myself.
I'm afraid I can't claim that as my strong suit. I prefer more stable methods, like placing bait in the water and waiting for the fish to come within reach.
Calm and steady. Exactly the kind of person who would catch loads of fish.
Yep.
And I can be their assistant.
With discretion, I'm sure.
I'd probably use some sort of mechanical animal. Papa once bought me some small clockwork squirrels, mice, and such. When placed in the forest, they can attract others of their kind.
Oh, okay.
I remember that you liked those too, didn't you?
I did. And that would be a good way to go about it. If they're realistic enough, animals of the same kind will follow them all the way to the trap.
Das kann ganz gut sein.
What about you, Monsieur Neuvillette?
Du hast, glaube ich, lange Zeit hier schon gelebt, also. Ja.
Fear I do not have any related experience.
Schade.
That makes sense. You usually solve problems directly, without the use of any such tricks.
Das war deswegen wahrscheinlich eben.
But I do have one more question for you, Monsieur. If we were to create a trap now, how would you design it?
I would like for it to be effective, but bring no harm to the prey. A more gentle trap would be ideal.
Okay.
Kind, as always. However, our intention doesn't necessarily change the containment device and the type of implement we need.
Okay.
If we wanted to kill the prey in one strike, we would need a powerful implement. However, that also goes for prey that must be captured and safely contained.
Yep.
Wait, why's that?
Only a hunter who's a true expert at subduing their prey can snare it without harming it. The line that divides life and death is often exceedingly thin.
Okay.
So, are we going hunting together?
Sozusagen. Und ich nehme an, es geht wahrscheinlich vor Rina.
We hadn't thought of seeing ourselves as hunters. It kinda works, but maybe it's still not the best metaphor.
If our means of capturing and dealing with our prey is to put them on trial, then the hunting metaphor is actually quite accurate.
Yep.
But we shall require much more courage than any hunter to judge a god.
Yep.
A being whose seat is an exalted throne.
Stimmt.
Oh, so that's what's going on. Sounds very interesting.
Klar, eins wird es nur eine einzige Metapher. Ihr werdet euer Vorhaben nicht als Jagd bezeichnen, denn darum geht es schließlich nicht. Und die Beziehung zwischen euch und Farina ist bei weitem nicht so schlimm. Alles, was ihr tun müsst, ist die Geheimnisse aufzudecken, die sie hütet. Der Versuch, die Geheimnisse einer Gottheit zu enthüllen, ist ein Akt der Respektlosigkeit. Aber das muss getan werden, um zu verhindern, dass Fontaine im Wasser versinkt, wie es in der Prophezeiung vorhergesagt wurde. Es gibt keine Jäger, noch keine Beute. Aber es muss eine Falle geben. Ihr müsst eine Falle bauen. Okay, geht zum Stützpunkt der Spina der Resula. Machen wir. So, den der. Okay, das heißt, wir werden jetzt ja, sie erlocken irgendwie und dann in die Falle locken und dann sie verurteilen, I guess, um eben halt die Geheimnisse rauszubekommen, was da los ist. Ob das so gut ausgeht, ich bezweifle es. So. Sehen wir Mona noch einmal, oder? Nein.
It's been a tough few days, hasn't it? So much has been happening.
Das Treffen hat so lange gedauert, dass ich jetzt hungrig bin.
Paimon didn't think the meetings would go on for so long, but everyone seemed pretty fired up, huh?
Yep.
Paimon thought they'd be at least a little frightened. Well, Fremine was, now that Paimon thinks about it, but everyone else just looked a little surprised.
Willst du dich nach dem Treffen sicher rein, Paimon?
Well, it's hard to say. Paimon doesn't have any experience with this sort of thing. But with you around, Paimon sure will do great.
Okay.
After all, you're the most reliable person in the world, aren't you? Huh?
Was ist denn?
Did you just pour some tea? Paimon didn't notice you doing that at all.
Nein, habe ich nicht.
Then what's that?
Weiß ich nicht.
Paimon's never seen that cup before.
Hä?
Don't be frightened.
Oh.
I'm just joining you two for tea. I merely refrained from saying anything till now.
Wer ist das?
Who's that voice? But there's no one here.
Ah, have you forgotten me already?
Ist das Nicole?
Wait, you are familiar. You're the voice we heard from the sky in Sumeru.
Stimmt. Es ist also wirklich Nicole.
The voice from the sky, I fear that description is wrong. Though, not completely wrong.
Okay.
You're feeling lost now, just as you were feeling previously. I sensed that confusion and thus came to you. Guiding people is an irresistible hobby of mine after all.
Okay. Wer bist du? Was willst du von uns?
Consider me a passerby, just accepting a commission from my friend's disciple on a whim.
Okay. Leider eine Freude. Können Sie eine Freundin von Monatsmeisterin sein? Als rätselhafte Ende des Echsenzirkels? Erlaube mir zu fragen, wird Fontaines Prophezeiung wahr?
The prophecy. Yes, what has been prophesied will be fulfilled.
Ah,
You may
verdammt.
use such things as the history of the future.
What? Then is there any way we can stop it?
Wahrscheinlich nicht.
I believe you have witnessed a failed attempt with your own eyes. Can everything in Tevat so easily be changed?
Da ist es wieder Schicksal.
Ah, so you've caught on. Just as prophecies are usually only the future as seen from the perspectives of the gods, could things be happening in hidden corners where the gods' gaze does not fall?
Maybe.
Are the things that you shall see different from the fate that the gods perceive?
What is she talking about? It all sounds really impressive and important and stuff, but it also sounds kind of scary.
Ja. Die Teetasse ist auch so gut wie leer.
I believe that you understand, right? Some things are insignificant, but others you must reach out to change.
Okay.
Ultimately, fate shall serve as your only guide, no matter what will happen in Tevat's future. This was good tea, by the way. Thank you for your hospitality.
Okay.
Well, that'll be all for today.
The voice. It's gone.
Yep. Hexen, ist das der Hinweis, den du uns hinterlassen wolltest? Sehr seltsam. Die unerwarteten Nachrichten haben bei dir gemischte Gefühle aufgehoben. Die sind, also auch scheint jemand draußen zu sein. Mona?
What? I want to hear someone talking. All right, coming.
Du bist einmal fleißiger, Balmon.
Hey, it's you who's getting lazy, okay?
Well,
Oh, I
I
see.
see I've walked in on some lively banter.
Mona, wie ist die letzte Zeit ergangen?
Fine, just fine. I went to take part in that Steambird panel. It turned out to be more interesting than I expected.
Wegen Charlotte, oder?
Not all Fontanians are pessimistic about this. One journalist mentioned that sitting around and waiting for the end to come would be wrong, and that they should make their own rescue preparations. I agreed, so we had a brief chat with her.
Okay.
Did she have pink hair by any chance?
Why, yes, it was Charlotte. You remember her, right?
Yep.
Daredevil journalist.
Oh ja.
I'm in full support of her view. Prophecies are very important, but how can people allow their lives to be commandeered by just a few words?
Weil sie dann wahr wird, wie wir jetzt wissen.
That's right! Paimon's glad to hear something sensible for once.
Ah, yes. About what we had discussed before. I did try, but I'm afraid I couldn't reach the old hag. I'll try again tonight, but I wouldn't get your hopes up.
Eigentlich ist schon jemand vorbeigekommen.
Huh?
Du erzählst Mona vom Besuch des Mysteriengasts.
Goodness gracious. Are you serious?
Ich glaube, sie ist gekommen, um uns eine Nachricht zu überbringen.
She said that even the god's gaze has blind spots. Pretty bold if you ask Paimon. Most people would believe the gods to be all-knowing, right?
Ja, aber ich glaube kaum, dass
The
das so ist.
Hexen Circle members are certainly anything but ordinary.
Das war.
As for the mage named N, the old hag has mentioned her a few times. She said that N's sense of direction is incredible, and that she loves guiding those who are lost.
Haben wir gemerkt.
But I've never met her, and if she were still alive, she'd be. Well, suffice it to say that the hag's at least a few hundred now, and
Okay.
N's been around for longer than that.
Okay.
Whoa. The Hexenzirkel sounds like a scary group. But they must really stay in shape to live so long.
Und wir die jetzt mehr sehen in den Archon Quests oder sehen wir sie vielleicht mehr so bei den Daysleep Quests? Also okay, das ist doch Archon Quest,
Their
aber
abilities alone are pretty terrifying. If she came to see you personally, then the problem you're facing must truly be of great importance.
nee, gar nicht.
Well, it's not like Paimon could understand anything she said.
Ja, okay.
Yes, she was quite cryptic, but I suspect she means that there is still a way to turn things around. She didn't say when or what that would be, though.
Oder vielleicht, dass die Prophezeiung sich irgendwie erfüllt, dass man dann irgendwie rückgängig kann machen oder dann, ja, ich weiß nicht, heilen kann. Ach, keine
Perhaps
Ahnung.
it is something that you cannot know right now.
Oder so. Stimmt, ihre Worte müssen einen hilfreichen Hinweis enthalten, aber wann werden wir seinen Wert und seine Bedeutung erkennen? Hoffentlich im richtigen Moment, das haben wir ein fettes Problem. War das bereits die beste Antwort, die ich auf meine Frage bekommen konnte?
Traveler, Paimon, are you two all right?
I guess.
Oh, we're fine. We're just a little down right now. It kind of feels like the end is coming, you know?
I see. I feel that same sense of desperation, too. I guess you could consider me someone who has often witnessed fate. So far as I have seen, it cannot be swayed. But even so, I still hope for and believe in miracles. Astrology is eternal and rational, but fate may not be. It is cruel, but it can also be beautiful. Perhaps that's what N was trying to tell you. Not to lose heart, and to believe that what you are seeing playing out before you is not yet set in stone. I did originally think of steering clear of all this, but I couldn't. Even if this is all futile, I still wish to help everyone. If we don't struggle to the last, then how can we face the end when it comes?
Gute Frage.
You do have a point.
There I go, talking about astrological principles again. Sorry about that. The moment I start talking about work-related stuff.
Mach dir keinen Kopf darüber, Mona.
I need to get going.
Oh, das war's noch.
It
Okay,
was
ups,
worth
du wirst
trying to
noch
comfort
reden.
you, even if only a little. I believe that you'll help those who are struggling in the same way I did. I suppose that might be why we always seem to meet by coincidence.
Und weg ist sie.
Paimon feels kind of moved by what Mona said. But also kind of sad, too.
Ja, okay.
Hey, Traveler. Paimon suddenly feels like going outside for a walk. Let's go.
Okay, machen wir.
Let's walk around the city, shall we? There's a few spots we always like to walk by.
Okay, machen wir dann. So, Zeitungsstand. Schauen wir mal, was hier los ist. Voilà.
Huh? Our names are written in this newspaper.
Oh?
What's going on?
Vielleicht sind wir ja berühmt.
Let Paimon see.
Jetzt bin ich schon gespannt. Okay, unser Name in der Zeit.
The underwater stronghold, the Fortress of Meripede, has continued in its noble autonomy. But that does not mean that others cannot interact with it.
Okay.
My recent attempts to enter the fortress bore little fruit. Huh. Guess Charlotte still hasn't given up on that.
Nee, scheint nicht so.
Thus, did an Outlander friend become the focus of this report? A blonde adventurer with their white fairy legends trailing in their wake. It is said that this mysterious traveler once visited the underwater fortress.
Ja, haben wir.
So while the fortress's interior remains a mystery behind closed doors, do not fear, for the tales of the traveler contain surprises in spades. Journalist Charlotte's biggest scoop yet, the Traveler's Trail, World Walker.
Huh.
Charlotte took so many awesome photos of us and we never even noticed her. She hasn't been able to get a hold of anything at the fortress, so since we're easier to find, she's using us as the subject matter instead?
Yep, das scheint tatsächlich der Fall zu sein.
Seriously? Well, fine. Those headlines and photos do look cool, so Paimon will forgive her this time.
Okay. Dann geh weiter voran. Okay, da hinten. Also. So. Ich muss sagen, das Design von Florina ist wirklich super cool. Das merke ich immer mehr, wenn ich hier Details anschaue. So, da werden wir.
We're here! Paimon's hungry. Should we go in and get something to eat?
Jo. Okay, Artefakte, Schätze mit großer Macht, wer ist ältest mehrere Artefakten Händen, die zusammen miteinander stehen, verschenkt sich ihr Effekt. We know, we know. So, Ziel in diesem Gebiet erreicht, okay. Okay, haben wir jemand Besonderes hier? Alle Kino vielleicht?
Hey, quick! Look!
Ja.
That's the limited edition only
Ah, okay.
16 slices a day cake!
Ist es heute noch nicht ausverkauft?
It was so delicious the last time we tried it, despite the tense situation we were in. Let's
Ja.
give it another go. I'm sure it'll be great.
Beeilen wir uns, bevor uns jemand zuvorkommt.
One slice of cake, please.
Someone showed up after all.
Yep.
Oh, wait, you're the one from the Palais Mermonia.
Ah, Seren, oder?
Oh,
Nee,
are
ist die
you
den.
here to
Okay,
buy
nah
cake
dran.
too? It seems Monsieur Nervalette was right. You really can eat.
Yep.
Wait, did he really say something like that?
That's right. Even he has his own preferences when it comes to food. As for me, I love the cake and coffee here.
Okay.
Do you come here often?
Usually every day.
Every day?
It's part of my daily schedule, apart from work. I shall have my cake and coffee.
Okay. Warum nicht?
Then what if someone told you one day that this place would be closing soon, and you wouldn't get to eat cake here anymore? What would you think?
Okay, wie kommt das auf einmal her?
But why would it close?
Well, Paimon doesn't know either, but maybe the waters will rise tomorrow.
Huh.
You know, like in the prophecy.
Oh, the prophecy. To be honest, I haven't paid much attention to that. No. Still, even if there'd be no more cake tomorrow, that wouldn't keep me from having some today.
Okay. Ich frage mich zwar, Melusinen, sie kommen ja auch aus Fontaine. Das heißt, sie müssen aber auch normalerweise von dem Urmeer betroffen sein, oder? Oder sind sie verschont davon? Das frage ich mich, weil das wurde nie, glaube ich, erläutert. Aber ich nehme mal an, angesichts, dass sie aber als Fontaine kommen.
No. It's the same for eating in general. You might not be able to eat tomorrow, but if you can do so today, then you should carry on. That's what people call living, you know.
Ja.
Huh.
Don't be sad. Excuse me, could I have 2 more slices of cake to go? These 2 slices are for you. Sijuin said that this kind of expression you're making is what humans call being sad.
Yep.
Oh, you know Sijuin?
I sure do. She was born before me, and she sometimes comes to the surface to teach us things about humans.
Okay.
She said that humans are creatures that are saddened easily, yes, and you can only lift their spirits by feeding them delicious food.
Nicht nur
So
essen,
please try the
aber es
cakes here.
funktioniert.
I've got
Kann
something
funktionieren.
else to do, so I'll be going now. You two try to stay in a good mood after eating, all right? Bye.
Bye bye. Überlegt.
And there she goes.
Yep.
All right, let's dig in. Paimon's sure this cake will be delicious.
Yep. Paul und du werft einander einen Blick, bevor ihr eure
It's more delicious
Kuchenteile
than
isst,
last
leider.
time. And the flavor gets even better with a sip of tea. It sure would be nice if we could come again tomorrow.
Wer weiß?
Sure would be nice if we could always eat delicious food here.
Schön wär's. Okay, verlässt das Hotel Debord. Okay, macht wir. Ich frag mich jetzt, wo zum Teufel
We're near the
Dings
Steamboat
ist.
office.
Oh, dann Vogel.
Let's go look for Charlotte and have a chat.
Okay, ich wollte nämlich gerade sagen, wo genau geht's jetzt hin? Aber wie es scheint zu Charlotte. Okay. Landstreich und Schlingel. Habe ich jetzt neue Dings?
Wow! If it isn't the Traveler and Paimon! Oh, have you seen the article I wrote about you?
Yep.
Ha! You've got some nerve. You just used us to make some quick mora.
Können wir eine Gewinnbeteiligung aushandeln?
Oh, you needn't worry about that. I heard that you were in Poisson some time back, so I sent you a letter to discuss just that. It appears you didn't receive it, though.
Nope.
It's all right, though. I've set aside the amount intended for you. I've even set the table with some food.
Oh.
Really? Oh, you're the best.
You're almost a little too easy to win over, Paimon. If I were a journalist with ulterior motives, you'd be in trouble now, you know.
Oh, Paimon knows you're not like that.
Still, what brings you here all of a sudden? Were you looking for me?
When Mona
There you
mentioned
go.
you, we thought of coming to see you at work.
I see. It seems you've already bumped into Mona here in Fontaine. So she mentioned me? What
Yep.
did she say?
She said
Sehr
that
freut,
you're
ne?
a real travel of a journalist.
Wie sie direkt den Akzent annimmt.
Nice. In which case, can this daredevil journalist dare to request an exclusive interview with the legendary traveler and Paimon?
Ja.
Huh? So your article in the paper today doesn't count?
Na, wahrscheinlich schon nicht groß genug.
Oh, of course it doesn't. That was
Oder
more like
vielfältig
live
eben.
photography. What I'd like to do is dive deeper and ask you to talk about the things you've seen and experienced.
Willst du mich wirklich interviewen?
Yeah. Are we even qualified enough?
Ich glaube schon. Wir sind, glaube ich, sogar überqualifiziert.
Why not? If I say you're worth an interview, then you're worth it. But not right now, of course. I'll need a few days to prepare.
Oh. In that case, we'll just chat when you have the time then?
Oh, so that's a yes? Ooh, splendid! I'll tell the editor-in-chief immediately. I'll have to apply for lighting, a venue, some props, and...
Okay.
Whew, so much to get done now. Talk to you later.
Okay, bis später.
Wait, Charlotte. Paimon's still got a question for you.
Ist sie schon weg?
And
nee, noch.
what's that?
If, just for example, Fontaine were to be flooded tomorrow, what would you do today?
Huh. That's the prophecy you're talking about, isn't it? I mean, I do hear about it often, but I've never once thought that the day could be tomorrow.
Okay.
If you're seriously asking, then I might try and think of a way to leave Fontaine. Oh, but I'm still a journalist first and foremost. That means I have a duty to be reporting from the scene. And secondly, I wouldn't forsake my homeland that easily.
Okay.
From what I've seen, most people don't know what they'd do should the worst come to pass. In truth, it might be better just to behave like normal rather than worry over such an end.
Okay.
So in all likelihood, I'd probably still be prepping at the office for that interview of ours. I know what you're thinking. That sounds a bit sad, but I've always believed that it's best to do what you enjoy.
Okay, das heißt, du würdest einfach mit deinem Alltag weitermachen.
Just think about it. If this nation really were to be suddenly destroyed tomorrow, but I still successfully finish an exclusive interview with a truly unique person, then the story I would wind up writing would truly be timeless. And then do you know what I'd do? Well, I'd write that story, send it for printing, and use messenger pigeons to get copies out to the various nations as soon as possible. I'm not a dreamer, nor am I a workaholic, but I do love my job. And I'd be proud of leaving such an article behind. But anyway, that's my answer. And on that note, I'll get back to my preparations.
Okay.
That's so
Oh,
nice.
ich kann einfach nicht vorhin.
All of a sudden, Paimon actually kinda envies her. Anyway, let's go and take a look at the sea, shall we?
I guess, ich habe ein ganz böses Gefühl dabei, aber okay. Oh, wir gehen direkt dahin. Okay, ich dachte jetzt, wir müssen da hinten irgendwie gehen. Aber nein, geht automatisch dahin.
The sea breeze and scenery can be a pretty soothing combo, huh?
Ja. Scheint aber nicht.
Paimon's been thinking.
Ja.
If it wasn't Fontaine, but all of Tevat that would be destroyed tomorrow, where would we go and what would we do?
Gute Frage.
No, Paimon should ask, if you could choose, what would you like to do?
Wenn ich die Wahl hätte. Genau wie Charles vorhin gesagt hat, man kann wirklich nicht plötzlich eine vernünftige Antwort geben.
We've always been moving to the next destination, so we haven't spent much time thinking about these kinds of things. We didn't have to either, with us always being on the road and whatnot.
Bis dieser Moment eintrifft, werde ich meine Reise fortsetzen.
You mean, still traveling?
Ja, ich möchte jeden einzelnen Moment genießen.
Huh. Wait, isn't that what we've always been doing?
Eigentlich schon, ja. Während ihr euch unterhaltet, vergeht die Zeit ruhig. Bald bricht die Nacht an und ihr kehrt zu eurer Unterkunft zurück, um diesen anstrengenden Tag ausklingen zu lassen. Die nächsten Tage verlaufen ebenso ruhig. Charlie kommt auch euch im Stützpunkt der Spina Resula im Fluff Sonde besuchen, um euch zu interviewen. Nachdem Navia ihre Aufgaben Posto beendet hat, kehrt sie zum Stützpunkt zurück, um ein Foto mit euch beiden zu machen. Alles läuft bestens. Okay. Das heißt, wir befinden uns jetzt im Hauptquartier da, oder wie? Fertig beim Interview?
Feels like you'll grow mold if you stay here long enough.
But
it's still better than the Fortress of Mirapede, that's for sure. It's not only damp there, but salty too.
Ja, okay.
Ah, so the two of you are still here. Wonderful.
Hello.
Oh, you're from the Palais Mermonia, aren't you?
Yes, I'm Isadora. Monsieur Nervillet sent me to look for you two before. I heard that afterward you went to the Fortress of Meropide.
Du denkst also, wir sind gesuchte Kriminelle?
Not at all. I'm well aware that you're friends of his. Actually, I'm here to pass along a message from him.
Okay, lass hören.
Yes, inside the Opera House. The Maréchaussée Phantom has declared the incident a small-scale riot.
Okay.
A riot?
Ein Aufstand? Jetzt bin ich gespannt.
Well, that said, I don't personally think it was that serious.
Okay.
Lady Farina was watching a performance at the Opera House, and while she was resting during an intermission, some other audience members suddenly started harassing her.
Okay.
Loudly accusing her of doing nothing about the prophecy crisis. And before she could respond, others started to join in.
Okay.
The crowd continued to grow, and protests against the Hydro Archon started to break out.
Okay.
So people have started to put the blame on Farina. Guess they finally found an outlet for the pressure they've been under due to the prophecy.
I agree. People will naturally rely on gods, as is customary. But the moment people feel threatened, gods are also the first to be blamed.
Ja.
So what happened after that? Is Farina okay?
Seeing that the situation was spiraling out of control and that further argument was pointless, she claimed that she'd gotten tired of this and left in a hurry.
Okay.
The Maréchaussée Phantom had their hands full maintaining order and did not catch where Lady Farina had gone.
Okay, ja.
Only when things had stabilized did we realize that she had gone missing.
Frage ist, wo ist sie hin?
So, you mean she's still missing?
That's right. The Maréchaussée has dispatched many people to search for her, but we don't have any leads yet. That said, I don't think there's much to worry about. She is a god after all. Even if she were to fall into the hands of rioters, what could ordinary people do to her?
Ganz viel, glaube ich. Ich verstehe nun die Situation.
Good. Monsieur Nervillet sent me to tell you about the situation, but he didn't say anything else.
Okay.
Don't worry, this is more than enough to go on. Thanks for keeping us informed.
Yep, danke.
Is that so? Well, all right then. In that case, you two take care.
Yep.
I'll be heading back to the Palais now.
Okay, mach du das. Also Farina hat sich aus dem Acker gemacht.
Well, sounds like we should hurry over to Poisson then.
Yep, das ist wirklich schnell begriffen.
If we know Farina, she won't try to fix things in this situation. Instead, she'll look for a place to wait out the heat. And as we also know, she may be loud and dramatic, but she doesn't have a heart of stone. When Nervillet was talking to her in the Palais Mermonia, and she heard about Poisson, she couldn't hide her sadness and remorse.
Yep, also geht sie vielleicht dahin.
It would be hard for her to ignore being accused by the public today.
Nee, ich glaube, das ist ihr relativ nah gegangen auch.
Paimon thinks Farina's probably taken the opportunity to
Yep.
slip away to Poisson and try to relieve the sense of guilt that she's feeling.
Das kann gut sein.
Well, what do you think?
Jetzt fehlt nur noch der Detektivbrille, das sind wir ganz gut.
Paimon can do the analysis to back it up too. Cool, huh?
Sieht so aus, als hätten diese Kriminalromane auf dich abgefärbt.
In that case, there's not a moment to lose. Poisson, here we come.
Okay. Okay, Jäger und Propheten hätten wir abgeschlossen. Hier beenden wir noch dann die Folge. Nächstes Mal geht es dann auf die Suche nach Farina. Ich bin mal sehr gespannt. Also, wir haben sie gefunden. Aber ja, ihr wisst natürlich, was gemeint ist. Wir werden Farina dann aufsuchen und Dings eben hoffentlich mit ihr irgendwie einen Plan können finden oder ihr Geheimnis mindestens lösen. Oder lüften, besser gesagt. Ich bin mal sehr gespannt. Und ja, danke fürs Zuschauen. Bis zum nächsten Mal. Tschüss.